Dana White Contender Series is back, and we have Week 3 this Tuesday. 5 fights tomorrow night in the Apex, as always. I tried to wait a little longer for the props to come out, but they haven't dropped yet. So here I am, and I'm going to go through each and every fight, starting at the bottom, working my way to the top, as always. We've been on an absolute tear lately. 9 of the last 10 cards, MMA, UFC, and Dana White Contender Series combined, we've been profitable. Contender Series, 9-1 on picks so far, profitable on both cards. So we're looking to go 3 in a row, and this is a tricky card, I think. But I am excited for these fights. There's some really good prospects on this card. So let me know in the comments what you guys have bet, who your favorite underdog is on this card. Like this video, click subscribe. A lot of you guys have been clicking that subscribe button lately, and I really do appreciate it. I never ask for $1 from you guys, even when you cash some of these big bets. But all I do ask, help me get to 4,000 subscribers. Really helps out a lot. Helps me, keep this going. It keeps me motivated. Just keep giving you guys more and more content. I've been dropping more, looking for more ideas for more content to give you guys. But turn those post notifications on because we will have Wager Wars. We don't have UFC this Saturday, but next Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern, we will go live as always. So if you want to see more live content, let me know. But we will have Wager Wars. Almost 30 people already in the Wager Wars rankings. Some people with 5 or more appearances. So shout out to everybody who's competed. Shout out to everybody who's watched. I appreciate you guys, man. Let's get into these fights. First fight on the card, we got Darian Abbey taking on Dante Johnson. And this one's probably going to be exciting for as long as it lasts. I'm pretty familiar with both these guys. Dante actually fought my boy, Ryan Parker, just a couple months ago, knocked him out, and Ryan's a local guy. He is, you see the record, he is, bit of a journeyman, but he's a, scrappy dude, good, dangerous on the feet, so it was a good win. He is definitely not a heavyweight, 205er for sure. He's been fighting at 205, he's taken his opportunity, obviously. I don't know, even if he wins this fight, he's only 5-0. On his amateur career, he did go to decision a couple times, but, also was knocked out as an amateur by a head kick, one of his last amateur fights. But I think he is pretty durable. He is pretty good. He's getting better. He's still super green. He's only been a professional for less than 2 years. So, I don't know. On the other side, you got Darian Abbey, who, on paper, you're like, okay, much bigger guy, right? He's going to be a natural heavyweight at 6'6". He used to fight at 205. He was like a skinny fat 205, or even at 6'6", he just had no muscle on him. But he has put some muscle on. He's been getting some good work in. Looks like he's taking his career a lot more seriously. He started his career 2-3. Actually fought another guy on this card, but 2-3 to start his professional career. Actually had a 9-0 amateur career. So, I don't know if maybe he just wasn't ready to make that jump, but, you go back and watch some of his early pro fights, and yeah, he's classic 6'6" fighter, just a little bit of a giraffe, man, tall man syndrome. He has put some muscle on. He's got some work in with the Kill Cliff guys. He looks like he's getting some better looks in, at least for the training camp. I don't know where he's training year round, if he's still at his smaller gym, but this Down to Fight MMA crew, but seems like he's taking his career more seriously and getting in better shape and stuff, because Dante is a freak athletically. He is, first of all, he is not 6 foot. I watched him stand in front of a guy I know. He's not 6 foot. Okay, he's probably 5'10" as a heavyweight, even though Abbey is probably 6'4". I don't know, maybe he is 6'5". He is tall as hell, but, there's a big discrepancy here, but, yeah, Dante is small. This dude will not be fighting at heavyweight in the UFC. And even if he wins, I think Dana's probably going to be like, look, you need more fights, but maybe not, because I do think it's probably going to be a round 1 win for whoever gets it. And Abbey, I just don't like the defense. I do think he's getting better. He's getting more well-rounded. He does have some power, or especially early, but if Dante, really he could come in here and do some grappling, even though I think Abbey's probably overall a better grappler. I think Johnson's so much more athletic, obviously much lower center of gravity. He could take down Abbey a couple times, and I don't think Abbey has anything off his back, but either guy gets put on their back, that's going to be bad, but I think Dante probably gets him out of there in the first round. So I'm going to go Dante Johnson, round 1 KO. The props aren't out, man. I would love to see what that is. Or like fight ends KO round 1. Because I think that someone's getting knocked out here in the first. It's probably going to be Abby. Moving on, we got Christian Perez taking on Manuel Souza. And Souza, you probably know him mostly because he is the guy to beat Mauricio Hufi. Knocked him out. Also, his only loss to Archie Colgan, who you guys probably just watched fight. Obviously, a super high-level guy. Took him to decision. Colgan might not be like the most potent finisher ever, but he does have some good, finishes. And you took him 15. Like, this dude is legit. This is a high-level fight here. Both guys are good. Perez, his only loss is to he lost in that tournament from Combate Global because another Combate Global guy. And what I was thinking about was that karate combat fight. He does have a loss over there. Obviously not on his MMA record, but this Combate Global fight, it was like a 3 fights in one night situation. He got wrestled in this Gonzalez fight, and I don't think his wrestling's great. Definitely more of like, boxer, some kicks, but solid striker. He fought in this karate combat. It's a Combate Global squad or owner like runs that shit. So or the Goat Shed guy. So I'm sure like it was like, hey, I think somebody pulled out and they were just like he just got his buddy to step in there. It was a catch weight. Like maybe he wasn't training a ton going in there, but it wasn't a good look. He lost to a bum. Like I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but I watched that fight. It was like live. It was not a good look. This dude was supposed to mop the floor with this guy, and it did not go like that. And that was his last performance. Like that was, a year ago. So, on the other side, like Souza's super, super well-rounded, and I do feel like even though both guys are solid grapplers, I feel like Souza, first of all, he's going to probably have a strength advantage and a wrestling advantage. So if somebody wants to get on top, it's probably going to be Souza. And I just think he's super well-rounded. And, he's looking like he has taken all of his acai. He has taken all the horse meat and, taking his strength conditioning very seriously with his Flintstone vitamins. And bro is absolutely... Perez is shredded and he's in good shape. Souza is scary looking for the division. So, bro is absolutely sauce to the... No, he's jacked. So, obviously that is not why I'm picking him, but I do think he's the more well-rounded guy. I do think he's the one getting on top. When I first saw this fight, I honestly thought I was going to be going with a dog because I think Perez is durable, and I think this probably goes 15. I wish the lines were out because I feel like everybody's thinking finish, but I'm kind of thinking fight goes the distance. Souza probably takes it, but, I think this fight's going to go 15. Both guys are durable. Both guys are in crazy good shape and are showing up to win. Obviously, they're both winners. I think this fight's going to go 15. I could see both these guys. I think Perez will lose. He'll come back next season with an easier matchup and get in there. So both these guys are UFC quality. He's still plenty young. Give me Souza via decision. God, I wish those props were out, man. I tried to wait. I was going to drop this video last night, but I was like, I want to look at these props. They'll be out by tomorrow. Still not out. I even, checked individual books thinking maybe Fight Odds and Best Fight Odds haven't updated. Nope, they still have them. So, Alik Lorenz, Abdul Rakhmanov, Yakiev. Huge favorite, minus 1,400 on Bovada right now or something. You guys know me. Am I parlaying a minus 1,200? I'm not, but I think he wins the fight. Look, I wish the props were out because I honestly think Lorenz, speaking of my boy Ryan Parker, he also fought him. He's coming off a win over him. He's fought a lot of these guys. He's a tough dude. He also lost in his second pro fight, got knocked out in 30 seconds by Darian Abbey from the first fight. So, wasn't a great look. Darren Abbey, who was 2-3 and had been finished in all 3 of his losses going into that fight. Lorenz is just a scrappy, tough dude. I will say, Yakiev, on the feed, it's mostly leg kick, body kick, one right hand, and then his takedown. But it's been working. And Lorenz, like, yeah, neither of guys fought great competition, but Yakiev's fought a couple good guys. This Kovalenko, this dude's legit. This guy I went back and watched that fight. Yeah, I mean, black belt, jacked up, like coming to win, undefeated, and I mean, like, yeah, it took him to decision, but honestly, if anything, it was just like a good look to see that he can go 15. Good takedowns, good submissions. I think he's gonna submit Lorenz, man. If this line got ridiculous, I mean, it is pretty crazy. I get it. It's like a plus 700. It's a Dana White Contender Series fight. I do think, if they start throwing hands, Lorenz could definitely knock him out. But, I mean, Yakiev's the bigger guy with the big grappling advantage. He's 24 undefeated. Fucking the UFC. This is who's supposed to come in and get this dub. I mean, that's just what's supposed to happen. Lorenz is a tough, scrappy dude who's supposed to go in there and get taken down and submitted. So I think that's what happens. I'm going to say Yakiev via submission. Again, the props are not out. It is what it is. I'm sorry. But maybe a round 1 Lorenz if it's crazy. Round 1 KO Lorenz. He is scrappy. He's coming to knock Yakiev out. That's his chance. Next up, we got Marcio Barbosa taking on Damon Wilson. Barbosa, man, this card's lit. This card's lit. Betting wise, it's pretty tough, but especially with the props not out. But another guy who I've been excited to get. I knew he'd be on Contender Series, if not, just get a shot into the UFC. Like that second fight. Guy, last week I said, man, I keep having to bring up Gabriel Santos again. I went back and watched this fight because I actually watched this card live, this LFA card. I watch LFA a good amount, and it was the main event. But I went back and watched, just the first round was insane. Gabriel Santos, first of all, he was undefeated for a reason in the UFC. I'm super high on this guy. Super well-rounded, super dangerous, good everywhere. And he almost knocked Gabriel Santos out. They could have stopped that fight, honestly. He did have some sketchy, he might have fouled a couple times, but he almost finished Santos. And then Santos survived, and then what happens to Barbosa in every fight? Look, he's been to a second round 3 times. He lost 2 of them and had a split decision against a bum in the other one. So, he's a round 1 guy. He is only 27, so, I'm sure he's trying to work on his game, but at the end of the day, he's been fighting pro for 10 years. This is probably just who he is. Maybe he can round it out a little bit, but, I don't know how much he's going to change. On the other side, man, Damon Wilson, he is hittable. He is, I don't know if he has a durability problem. I just think he's hittable. Defense is not great. He's definitely not as quick and athletic as Barbosa, but he is probably the bigger guy. He's going to be naturally a little bigger, not just taller, but Barbosa, for somebody who's a round 1 marauder and slows down, he's really not that big. He's shredded, but he's not the biggest frame. Wilson's going to be the bigger guy. He is going to be probably, if he's not an idiot, trying to do a little wrestling, but he likes to clinch. He likes to use the knees. He's coming off back-to-back knockouts via knees. I think that, making it dirty is his shot here. Especially just make it dirty and try to survive that first 5 minutes, man, because not even just the first 3 minutes, unless Barbosa comes in all of a sudden after 18 fights trying to change the wheel, he's probably going to come in and give you 3.5 minutes of hell. And if you survive, you can finish him. And Wilson's dangerous, man. Honestly, he's a little stiff compared to Barbosa, but, he's live. So, out of the, for the first, 4 fights, I think, I guess the first fight, but the line indicates that. Out of the big favorites, I don't know. I think Wilson's kind of live here. I think, he'd probably be the most live out of those first 4 fights in my eyes. But I haven't bet him yet. I'm looking at the line. I want to see the props. Barbosa's super dangerous. I want to look at what Damon Wilson round 1 or round 2, probably knockout, round 2 knockout, or just round 2, or something like that. I want to see what those lines are looking like, because I don't think this shit's going to decision, man. If it does, Damon Wilson's probably going to win it, honestly. But we'll move on to this main event, or the featured fight. We got Trent Miller taking on Ryan Gandry. And Gandra, I think it's Gandry. I can't remember how you say it, but Trent Miller stepping in on short notice. He has been, coming out of Extreme Couture. Dude's freaking jacked. Fucking yoked. But, I do think he's one of these, like, blue-collar, working a part-time job. I forgot what he does, but he's got another side job. I remember he was talking about it in some interview. But, dude's absolutely jacked. I mean, I know everybody's been saying, oh, this Gondred guy is, like, he's juiced, like, because he used to look a lot more flabby. But, yo, physique-wise, Trent's got him beat, all right? Bro's yoked up. But, both these guys are just kind of, like, winging. They're, like, slobber-knocking, just, like, inflatable arm tube guys in there for the most part. I mean, Gandra probably has a bit of a more of a grappling, advantage here. I mean, he's a Brazilian guy. I haven't seen what belt he is, but I've seen him doing some grappling. It doesn't look awful. But Trent Miller, he's at a great gym, but I actually have been following him on Instagram for a while. He just got his blue belt a year ago. So, definitely not very experienced in the jiu-jitsu, and he's not one of those guys like, oh, he just didn't put the gi on. Nah, like, he is very green. All right? He is mostly like a freak. Like, I'm just going to come at you like a fucking marauder with just, like, winging bombs, and we'll see what happens. I mean, both his losses, he got submitted. He got friggin' face cranked by this Buddy Wallace guy. I mean, just a straight up, a veteran, but, not a great look, dude. But honestly, I don't think he's going to have to worry too much about the grappling. Look, you guys know, I'm a dog guy. Like, I'm a dog hunter. I've been killing it with the underdogs, in general. But, lately, this year, that's what I do. I try to find these value, either an outright pick or at least, like, a line that's off. I got to be honest with you guys, man. I think this is a hard week for the underdogs. I think Gandra probably gets it done. But, whereas I can't even say, like, dog or pass. But, the Yakiev one, it's minus 1,400. Like, my style, I will never parlay that. Like, straight up banana peel pricing. But I think he smokes Lorenz. I think Souza, he is the much more polished, well-rounded, gonna have physical advantages. He probably wins a pretty decisive decision. I think Dante Johnson is going to take Abby's head off in the first 3 minutes. He's just so much quicker. I think the last two fights, is probably dog or pass. I haven't bet them yet. I want to see the props, man. The props, like, I need to see the props. But I'll let you guys know what I end up choosing. I'll tweet it out, as always, at Cody MMA. That's me on everything, Instagram too. But I will X or Twitter, whatever. I'll post it up, what I end up doing. But, if I was parlaying, because you guys always want to ask me, since the lines came down, I probably parlay Souza and Johnson. Again, I think the Souza fight goes to decision, even though it's Contender Series. Not a lot of fights go to decision typically, but I think it actually will, so it's a little dangerous. But I think Souza wins. I think Johnson wins. Yakiev is just, the line's too ridiculous. I think the last two, I don't know. Barbosa is such a front runner, and the main event, they're just going to be big boys throwing fucking heat. Grant Gandra's got a full camp. He's more polished. If it goes to the ground, he's going to have an advantage. But do you really want to lay minus 400 on two guys that are just going to be planting their feet going like this? And he's fighting a guy who looks like freaking Trent Miller. He's knocked plenty of guys out coming at him like that. So, dog or pass in there. But that's my betting thoughts for the card. Like this video, click subscribe, turn those post notifications on. It's a weird week. You got to pick your spots. We got to wait for these props to drop. I will let you know on Twitter/X. Until then, make some money. No UFC. So, good luck tomorrow. Make some money. I'll catch you guys on X. Until then, peace.